Where to find good people to hire. So you asked and we delivered. So there's job sites, there's events, there's all sorts of places. But let's be honest, people are still in a COVID coma and using it as a worldwide excuse. They don't want to go to work. And there's too many government subsidies, in my opinion, but that's not today's video. Where do you find them? Let's talk about three things. What are the online job boards, professional postings? Where are those areas? Number two, can you go to job fairs, industry, dig deep into your industry for networking? Number three, use staffing agencies or recruiters. So where do you find them? Well, first of all, let's talk about the job boards. So we have used a specific one. They do a lot of ad campaigns recently, start with an I, and they're not Indeed, they're Outdeed. And the reason I say that is we got 50 resumes and one person showed up. Now, I don't know that that's actually Indeed's fault. I think it's the people. I think you can't hire work ethic these days. Most people don't want to work. They've been used to not working. They've downsized their life to I wouldn't even say what they want. They're just getting by, barely getting by and using government subsidies to do it. Now, I'm not talking to those that are my client. My client or someone who's jamming, who's out there, but I know my client wants to know where do you hire good people. So we do start on job boards. We use a lot of, whether it's Craigslist, Facebook, we use a lot of those to bring people in. I know a lot of our folks use them. Part of this is all industry specific. There are certain industries that the only way that you're going to get hired or find the people are through online portals. Like I was just at the NCAA, the AFCA Coaches Conference, and that is all very, very portal and agent centric as far as how people move around and get transferred through different schools and different coaching positions. Hospitals typically use recruiting agencies or have an agent. So it depends where you are. So there's some industry specificness to this. The other thing I would say that is one of my biggest kept secrets, and it's really not a secret, but get the people who work on your team now, give them an incentive. Like for a while we were doing a campaign that if you could bring somebody into the organization and they stayed for 90 days, you could get a $500 bonus. So use the people who know other people to get stuff done. The other thing that a lot of you don't do, and they're not really in the professional network or job boards, is just out in the streets. I've hired people straight out of Starbucks. I've hired people out of other customer service areas where they were serving me really well. And I said, do you want a new place? How much do you make? And I can outpay you. You got to come up with some interesting strategies and techniques. Here's the thing I say, do not compromise on when you're hiring, is don't compromise, which we don't, on where you need them. Can they be remote or not? We are a very intact team. We've always been, even during COVID, I declared us essential because we were helping every day. Somebody with, should I pay a credit card? Should I pay a mortgage? Any of those kinds of things. We needed the team in the office. So the desk spread out. We met all the compliance and we stayed alive as a team because we like getting on whiteboards and doing that. So be really clear. I think when you compromise your hire is when you compromise your business. So there's a culture to your business. So make sure you don't compromise it out of desperation. But I can tell you in the construction space, because I own a construction company, oh my gosh, challenging. So hang in there. I say, don't give up, stay persistent. You stay the course, you're going to attract people that are like you. There's a projection in that. If you stay the course, you're going to attract those who wanted to stay the course that didn't have an opportunity. I'm getting people now that literally don't want to work at home anymore because now the one company is actually extending their hours, now taking advantage of the situation. Well, you can just take, calls 24/7 throughout the whole day. So be clear what you want. I think that a lot of that's on the employer. The person hiring of the team. But job boards are great. That's how we get the majority of them. You can attend, and they're coming back slowly, job fairs, industry events. Again, back to that conference in January with the NCAA coaches. That is their annual event. So there's a lot of transfers, and it's around the time where football season's over, and it's the time where coaches, do a massive transition. So that thing was packed with people. I would say more, it was a job fair than it was actually, it was really educational. It was phenomenal. But that was interesting to watch the dynamic of that happening at an industry event. So find your industry, somebody is still hiring. Say you have really mature people and you want some, new people coming out, offer internships. That's another thing we've done that's very, very, very successful. Before I continue on and talk about agencies, and I've kind of peppered that in a little bit, let's talk about you. I need you to subscribe to this channel. I need you to click the notification button. Be here every day. We have a new cool YouTube journal called the Millionaire Maker Journal. What did you learn from this video? What are you going to do about this video? By the time you're done watching for 365 days, every week, week after week after week, 10, 15 minutes, there's something that you're going to do that's going to put together what resembles a plan. If you really want to lean in and learn, go to askloral.com, ASKLORAL. Ask me any question. Make a comment in the section in the description below. Stay in touch with us. What you want, I will deliver out here on this channel. One tool that a lot of people don't talk about are personality profiles. You can do some personality profiles. Know who you want to hire and know what you want them to do. The last thing I do want to say, and the last point, is agencies and recruiters. They are very valuable, very valuable. We've used them many times. There's agencies. You do pay an override and you pay a recruiter usually up to a percent of their first year salary. Those aren't bad. In some industries, that's all they do is use recruiters to hire. So again, back to industry specific, use where your industry is hired. In our industry, people like to go to accounts. So they love my account because I've been the most sustainable. I've been here for a very long time. What you sell, like the big table, has been here since 2001. So people love to come and work on our account because they know I'm sustainable. I can pay them. They will get paid on a regular basis, and they have opportunities to grow because we're just a growth organization and we stay on top of it. So come up with your compelling reason why someone would want to work for you, right? That's really, really important. Why would I even want to be your client? So I think for a lot of you as business owners and who you need to hire, be clear on what you want, what the outcomes are, what the results are. And then we have this theme inside of our organization called Trust and Verify. Trust that they're going to do what they say they're going to do. You're going to give them that job description and verify that they did it so you get the result that you want in your organization, which means cash flow in your bank account. Talk to you tomorrow.